up on Twitter, up on Twitter. We are coming up on YouTube and LinkedIn. We are also coming up on Twitch. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Come on, baby, come on, baby. There we go. There's YouTube. YouTube is up. Waiting on Twitch and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is up. Twitch, you the last one. Why are you always a slow poke? Come on, get it up. There we go. We up. All right. Peace and good morning. Getting it together. See how we're looking today. I didn't check levels or anything. I've been trying to do a whole bunch of things, and I'm trying to rush and get this done today so that I make sure I stay on point, getting these things done. Um, I've got something going on at 9 o'clock, so I've got 15 minutes for this. I prefer they last 10 minutes, so let's see how close we can get to that 10-minute mark. I'm gonna continue what I did yesterday. Yesterday, I was showing you guys how I do kind of organize these, or I'm learning to organize these with Trello. So I customized OBS a little bit this morning. Part of why I took a little while to get up here and get started, but I customized OBS so that my screen I could do the screen share still. Oops, don't want to be showing you all my good stuff. Um, I am doing. Where is it? I wanted to show you guys my Trello so that you can see how I'm going through my notes for this show, for these streams. I'm not calling them shows. So let's go back, screen share. Here is Trello for the day and today's episode. I'm calling them episodes now, I guess, but maybe I don't know. I'm figuring that part out. But my thought today was, I really did predict it. Last year I said we don't have much time to really be successful um, using social media, and that social media would die this year in 2022. And I didn't take time to quantify what I meant. Didn't know exactly how it would die, but I'm right. Whether you believe it or not, whether you agree with me or not, is cool. But I'm right about this, in my opinion, because social media is not the same thing that it was last year. It's not as pervasive in our lives. People aren't as glued to it. People are doing more and more to weed it out of their lives, to take breaks. Social media, the monster that we knew it to be for all these years, has died. It is something else. People are leaving platforms, people are getting less engagement, all of that. And I'm cool with it. I have no problems with it. I am bothered by the fact that I didn't capitalize on it when the opportunities were there to really build the type of community that you need to monetize some of your efforts and support yourself using some of the tools that you get, or some of the benefits you get from building a social media presence. But um, I'm okay with it dying, because it's right now it's being used for creating valuable, meaningful connections with people, as opposed to the superficial connections that people were creating with social media quite often over the past few years. All these things where you're adoring and being influenced by people, that's still going to happen, but I think fewer and fewer people have aspirations of becoming influencers, and fewer people are interested in being influenced by social media. So social media is dead. It's still here, but it's going to be something else. But what we knew social media to be is over. All right, let's move. Tip of the day: one, you get one life, you get one chance to live. There will only be one of you ever. So, what are you doing with your time here on this rock? Um, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing so many things and trying to make so many different things happen, because I want my time here to matter. To me, first and foremost, but I'd also like to see if there's something I can do for the rest of my electrons on the cloud here, the rest of my trees on the planet, the rest of my people, the people who identify, or the people who have similar life experiences, who may be able to benefit from, you know, seeing some of my pitfalls, some of my successes, some of my wins, some of my losses, whatever. So, one, remember, you get one. And it could all be over tomorrow, man. Tomorrow is a lie. Tomorrow is not promised. There's no guarantee that you will be here tomorrow. So, what are you doing today to make your time here on this rock meaningful? And the question of the day: why are you on social media? Um, I'm on to build, like I said, the meaningful one-on-one connections, but I'm trying to learn how to use it more strategically, and using it, for me, it has to be worthwhile now. I don't want to just be, doom scrolling. And I also don't want to just be posting fluff and crap. So I've been less engaged lately as I've been trying to figure out strategies. One thing that Bad Bakery Art Club, founder of Bakery Art Club, Sierra, passed on to me that I I don't know if I'd heard it before, but it means a lot to me now, and I'm still working on defining that is what are my four pillars of content. Your four pillars are what four silos of content types are you creating? One of my pillars is going to obviously be content itself, advertising, um, our creations for Grayskull, HFR, and some of the other projects and communities I'm involved in. Another one is the mental health advocation content, which is why I share more and more my thoughts, my feelings, my struggles, my challenges with the world through social media. That's another one of my pillars. But defining my pillars is something I need to do in order to use it more strategically. I'll report my four pillars once I've got them really locked in and once I know how I'm going to use them. But thought that might be helpful for you too. Is define why you're using social media and then define how you're going to use it. Create an actual strategy instead of just randomly throwing shit up there. Um, I'm just randomly throwing shit up there right now as I'm trying to figure stuff out, but I'm doing much less of it. As a matter of fact, my presence on TikTok is pretty abysmal, and I need to do more for that because that's the one platform that probably would do the most for me if I come up with a decent enough strategy because of the way the algorithm works. Instagram is where probably got the most engagement and most community built. So I need to figure out how to use that more effectively. Um, and then Twitter, I'm really enjoying the connections and engagements I'm creating and building on Twitter. So Twitter's the one that's kind of enjoyable because of the quality of people I'm connecting with. I'm connecting with more people who are like-minded with regard to what I'm trying to accomplish. So more of the professional connections or more of the driven people who are entrepreneurial are the ones that I'm connecting with on Twitter. So yeah. Trending on my feed. I'm gonna skip that today because I got 9 minutes, and we've talked enough about social media. Yesterday I tried to keep it in line with Sacred Sunday. Our Sundays we call Sacred Sundays because we aim. I'm trying to I'm getting away from that word try. That's Yoda. Yoda tell me not to do that. But we aim to make our Sundays as peaceful and low power and as possible. We don't want the world dictating too much of what we do on Sundays. We want to do it ourselves. Haven't been able to do as much of that lately because Johnny's really focused on her yoga teacher training. She's got to finish that by the end of the month, aka the end of the year. So I'm trying to pick up some weight around here and do more to make it easier for her to soften things for her. So I cooked yesterday, did some laundry, spent some time in nature with Zen. Just he and I went out and got a chance to see a deer. About 15 feet away from a deer, got a chance to have a nice little close encounter and talk with nature. It's another reason I'm rushing here is because I want to finish what I'm doing here so Zen and I can get out there and I can be on this clubhouse space from the woods listening in. So that was yesterday pretty much. Also a little bit of more work on yesterday. A little more work on yesterday. Whatever. A little more work from yesterday is Yanni's got this chaotic thought episode that she's getting ready to publish, and I really, really want to do what I can to support her because my thing is trying to really, really show the creators that I create with the type of support that I'd like to receive as well. I'm not perfect at it. I'm doing far from enough on it, but as we get more organized and as I get these business plans locked in and as I get the funding I need and get some traction, you'll see what I mean by that. Because there will be teams supporting the creators that I support. Um, but um, yeah, man. Yesterday watching Chaotic Thought, um, we talked about how she's going to break it down into pieces and parts because it's a pretty long conversation, but there are a bunch of nuggets and jewels in there. I started taking notes on the timestamps for the parts that I want to create content for so I can support her by um, posting snippets and posting my reactions, my responses, or setups for the snippets to encourage people to watch them. So um, yesterday, if it was work, it was my work for supporting her because without her, my life would be a whole different game right now, and I wouldn't be anywhere near as happy. I don't think I would. She means the world to me, and I appreciate the hell out of her. Today, we got a Project RMA meeting. We had a meeting with a special organization that might lead to some other really lucrative opportunities, or and lucrative, by lucrative I don't mean just money, but things that where we may be able to garner and build some more meaningful relationships with some more people and organizations to get Project RMA where we need to be. And Project RMA is not just about us; it's to feed some of the other things that we're doing as well. So excited about that. I'm going to try and sneak in an HFR team meeting with Yanni to discuss and plan this week's activities. Got to make that short though, so I don't disturb her and take her off of her focus. So it probably won't be much. We actually had a shower meeting yesterday. That's how much we're trying to squeeze stuff in and try not to break into her schedule. So hopefully today's will be quick and short. Biggest thing I want to make sure we do is get locked in for the HFR family meeting that I'd like to host this coming Sunday. I need to get invites out for that and check temperatures, see where everybody is. I know it's holiday season, but we want to have one more family meeting before the end of the year to check in with the HFR family and give them an update. Since the last time we updated you guys, we were in the middle of the Save the House campaign, the crowd fund, and we nixed that because we'll talk about that in the meeting. So stay tuned. If you're part of the HFR family, or if you want to be a part of the HFR family, make sure you're following at HFR Connect. DM us, reach out to us, and we'll start talking, start making engagements. But this next family meeting is going to help set the stage for next year, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Um, Anything else on HFR? Let's see. The chaotic thought. Sent the part one of my series to Kitty. I need to check in with her and have an actual conversation with her before I move forward, though, because I want to make sure that we're doing this in an effective way. I want, like I said, I want to use social media more effectively. So I want to make sure that she and I can kind of sync up and figure out how we want to release this. If there's a way that we want to do it, if it's just dump, cool. But I'd like to always engage with the creators that I co-create with before putting something out, because when I say collaboration, I want to do more than just create something together. I want to also promote and highlight these things together too. I want it to be a full collaboration from end to end. So I want to check in with her, see what we can do there. GRYSKLL prepared my mixed notes. I think I'm done with my mixed notes for winners and losers. Q did an amazing mix. Wow. I don't know how many times I listened to it yesterday, but it felt really good. Like he killed American Cursive. This is right up there with that, as far as the mix and the messaging and what's going on. Got a couple minor notes I think I want to at least offer, but I trust Q. He's doing a great job with adding on through engineering and not just trying to just hurry up and get a mix out the door. That means the world to me. It's always what I've said I've needed in order to be successful. I've always said that I need a really powerful, strong, dedicated, invested engineer. I need the same thing in a business lead on the team. I have a lot of ideas and stuff, but if I'm focusing solely on business, I'm not doing the creative work and I'm not able to do the other things that I think are necessary in order to make the business work. So also need a very strong business focused person. Maybe it's a personal assistant or something like that can help solve that. Not sure. We'll figure that out. Um, 2023, that will definitely be answered and will be a solved problem. Anything else from GRYSKLL? I did some more documentation in Trello, preparing for us to secure funding, business planning, and grant funding are two of the big things on my agenda. And I have to get a lot of that stuff documented and written up before I can present it to the team. So before we can start whittling things down or sculpting and shaping the plans. So I'm really busting butt to try and hurry up and get that documented. Doing the same thing with RMA. Doing might be doing the same thing for the Rap Heads community. Absolutely doing that for HFR. So as you know, a lot of my days are spent right now doing writing, editing, and business planning stuff, meetings. Um, let's see, anything else here? GRYSKLL, that's good enough. We are actually we're gonna do a lessons learned episode either at the end of this year or at the top of next year. Just talk about what we learned from this year as a team, as a crew, as individuals, as it relates to Grayskull, or as it relates to our endeavors into the worlds of creating and distributing music, um, and other forms of art, videos. So I'm excited about that one because I really want to hear, what was, what was helpful to people in the crew, including myself. I'd like to think about that, but I also want to know, what, you know, where some of our where we can improve. So I'm excited about the lessons learned episode. Look forward to that. I'll keep you updated on that. Project RMA. This morning's meeting was pushed to Wednesday, which is beautiful. I needed that, I think, because I have a couple ideas on how we can make sure that we perform even better in the meeting. Not even perform, but how we do a better job of making sure that we send the right messaging to the people we're meeting with, but also to make sure that we are putting a clear ask on the table if there is an ask. I'm not gonna give too much of that right now, but I want to make sure that we're very synchronized. That pitch deck has really helped focus and shift my attention in a specific area, and I think it's going to be really helpful with directing how we engage with vendors and other people. 901, I need to hurry up and shut this down. All right, real quick, last things. Rap Heads community. We had a community meeting yesterday to go over the results of the mixtape vote, which closed on Saturday night. Very happy with how this went, man. We ended up with a total of 9 songs at the end, maybe 8 or 9 songs at the end. That is, yeah, that means we did a really good job of voting, being honest about our feelings about things, and that we're gonna have the best possible product. I'm very happy with the songs that made the cut. I think there's only one that made the cut that I didn't vote for. That's fair. That's fair to me. Um, and I have to go back and listen to that song too and see if maybe I was tripping too. If it got that many votes, maybe there's something that I was missing when I listened to it the first time. Because I know the way I listen to music, sometimes I don't catch things on the first time, so I usually give it a couple goes. I know Q, GRYSKLL's engineer and MC producer, one of our second wave members. I think he said it. He listens to albums 5 times before he gives an assessment. That's amazing. I can't wait to really dig into like some of his listens or his experiences on that. Pardon me. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, so the mixtape, where next step is to get stems submitted, and we want stems submitted by the end of the week, for the song, so that our brother Al Backwards can work on mixing the project. Unfortunately, Damon, the way he works, he got at least 2 tracks accepted. Actually, he's got more than 2 tracks, but two full solo songs accepted, and they're already mixed. So, um, we don't need to mix as many. And then one of the songs that got accepted, I'm happy to say, is the Dow Tone featuring myself and Sheed from GRYSKLL, produced by Sheed. That one's already mixed too by Q. So that's 3 songs that are already mixed. So that means there's 5 to 6 songs left to mix, and the mixtape can be ready to rock. We got a bunch of artwork that's been submitted in the Discord, that's just inspired by the music that was in the process for making this. I'm hoping some of that artwork is going to end up becoming the cover art. I'm interested in seeing how we're going to mint this. Mizzo presented an idea, um, for how we might be able to mint it, and I'm really looking forward to talking through that to see if minting it is going to be. We'll just see, what we're going to do for minting it. I think we're going to have fun. Whatever we're going to do, the goal is not to overthink it. The mixtape's called "Don't Overthink It." It's part one, the first mixtape in the series, and we are not going to overthink it. Next thing, and I think I'm going to make this the last one, is yesterday's mental maintenance space for an NFT Voices. Again, out the park. I learned a hell of a lot about autism and ADHD. We specifically talked about, um, we spent a lot of time talking about, um, disparities and bias when it comes to how people are treated in there, and how, people of color, for example, the global majority, aren't really represented by a lot of the fact science and the facts that have been distributed about autism and ADHD, because most of the studies and most of the efforts that have been put into these um, conditions have been focused on white males. Not a whole lot has been focused on the global majority. So we really know anything about it? We also talked about something that's been bothering me for a while, and that's we talk about neurodiversity and the term neurodivergent and the term neurotypical. Those two, especially neurotypical, that term has always rubbed me a little wrong because it for me it, to me it perpetuates that whole concept of there being a standard or a normal way of being a person. I don't believe there's a such thing as a standard or a normal person, to be honest. I think we've been taught and trained to believe that, and taught and trained to try to fit into boxes to become those, but that almost killed me. So I'm not encouraging anything that perpetuates the ideas or concepts of normal, typical, any of that. I think we need to celebrate diversity. And when we start to look at how we're labeling things, especially conditions and things that shape the way people think about themselves in the world, I think we need to be very careful with that terminology. And I love the fact that the world is in a place where people are already thinking like that, and the world has kind of led me to start thinking like that. Like I need to really rethink how I label things, how I label myself, how I label others, how I label activities, and not just accept what's been handed to me as this is how you refer to this, or this is how you interpret this concept, this idea, whatever. Everything is being reimagined. Like I said, I don't know if I said it on here or not, but I put a post up the other day where I said I'm rebooting myself, I'm recoding myself, I'm rewriting my operating system, and I'm recording it. I'm sharing it with you guys through streams and all that, so that it can be a communal experience and hopefully to help somebody else. That's pretty much the process of getting it together. That's what I'm doing. That's what today's about, and I'm shutting it down on that note. I will talk to you guys more about the last thing that was on my list, which is the write up for the creative wellness coach slash consultant idea. Didn't spend anywhere near enough time working more on that last week, but that's because I was focused on team activities. I will get back to myself. I know myself is a priority and what I'm building is a priority, so I will put the time in on that. But other than that, man, thank you all for spending time with me. Any of you, I don't know if there's one of you, two of you, none of you, whatever, but whoever paid attention, whoever checked in, appreciate you. Um, Leave a comment, leave a question, and again, let me know. How, why are you on social media if you're here and if you're engaging. Other than that, happy Monday. Remember to have a good day on purpose. Love.